Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Mini City. There's a couple of things that I want to do today. The first being the new skyscraper, or the newest skyscraper that we've built on the city. I want to build in here, and it's going to go right on this block here. And it's actually in the full-size map only a few blocks taller than this skyscraper, so we can keep it the same height, which is 4 blocks tall. What block are we going to use? It doesn't really matter, as long as it's not a wool or a block that is like a special block, if you like. So we'll go with packed ice. Packed ice? Yeah, why not? Packed ice. So we'll have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll use this for the top on here. I don't want another helipad one. I like another one like this. And the skyscraper, I'll show you a picture when we jump into Photoshop anyway, but it's the white and gold one. White and gold, white and gold. No, it's black and yellow. No, not quite the same. Fairly similar though. Then the other thing I want to do today is get the island on each side, in the prison island and the private island. If we could just sort of do a rough block sketch of roughly the size of what that's going to be, that would be really helpful. So without further ado, we should jump into Photoshop and take a look. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is packed ice. This is what it looks like inside of Photoshop, and this is a picture of like the skyscrapers that we've got in the main city. The tallest one that we've done, this sort of creamy coloured one, and the bluey purpley one are the 3 that we've got currently. This is one that I want to add today. As you can see, it's like exactly unintentionally 1 block diagonal to this one, so it's exactly in the right place already. And it's going to be a fun one to do because it's white, so we'll be able to maybe do some very light grey touches on it to highlight some stuff and shadow some stuff. We've got the windows on the side and then the lines in the middle. Now what's another bonus with this is that it's pretty much the same all the way up. I know it goes a little bit different here, but it's round here. We can't do round with 1 block stuff. So we're just going to ignore that. We're going to keep it all the same all the way up. And I was thinking, this dome on the top, there is a potentiality of using something like a player head and make it look like a miniature glass block. And then we could place that on the top to get like this sort of glass dome, but glass square really above it. However, there's some problems with that. There's 2 main problems that I can think of. The first problem being I don't want to really waste a player head to look like a little glass block. I mean, yes, there's other options that we could use it for, like little greenhouses and on top of other buildings and stuff like that. But the other problem, the larger problem, is that the texture will still be on the top of the block. This wall texture will be on the top. And we can't place a carpet down like we've got and then the glass on top, because obviously the little player head won't go onto where the carpet is. Now, we could use a very special block like pumpkin or the purple block or the melon block, things like that that have a different top texture to sides, but I really want to save those for buildings where we have no other choice in the matter. I don't know what that is yet, but there's going to be some buildings where we have no choice but to use you know, a block with a specific different top texture, so I don't want to waste it. I'm going to stick that back over here, and we're going to start off by making the entire thing white, I think. Nice, bright white. Pencil, make it a little bit bigger, speed it up. There we go. There's all white. Now we want to think about the sort of what the skyscraper is made out of. We have a thinner corner section. We have on either side, and then we have 2 sticky out bits. Yeah. So the we want black for the windows. Have we done black for the windows on the other ones? Hold on. Black, black, and then this one we've got a blue. I think black will look better because on the skyscraper picture, look, we've got blue on this one like we saw in the game, but then this is black, black, and black. So yeah, we'll go with black. So we want black dot, move that up a little bit, black dot like this. Hello? Oh, that's not black. Black dot like that, right on the edge or there. I think there would be better. And then we can get a lighter grey, I think sort of a mid-grey here to define the line exactly. Now I could have it like there, and that would leave 2 pixels on either side of this one wide wall. But maybe we should move it over. I think we're not condensing it quite enough. I think we want instead have it down here. Take those away. We move the black dots over by 1. It looks a little bit close to the edge for the moment. There and here. And then we get the grey to go here and here. Because we actually have 2 black windows there, 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 and there, and then we have the long ones, and you want to really be able to see the long ones decently. So I think that is probably the pattern that we're going to do. Oh, and I can fit, excellent, the grey going up here and up here. Smashing. Really, really perfect. What do we want now? A little bit of highlighting. It doesn't divide up at all any further up, at least on the one that we're going to do. So we want to have a very light grey now, like barely off white, just for a little shadow or a little highlight around. Well, you can go all the way up. We're going to be copying and pasting anyway, but so it goes like this. And then there was a grey top to all of the windows. Can I use this grey, or would that look a little bit this one, or would that look a little bit weird, having like 2 of the same greys? I think that looks pretty nice, actually. You want to keep as much of it white, or as close to white as possible. Otherwise, it's going to end up looking like a grey building with white highlights. We want it to look like a white building with grey highlights. We want the opposite. And we also want some orange in, some yellow in there as well. I think I'm going to put the yellow only at the top. We don't want to put the yellow in like 2 or 3 rows, because that's too much. As you can tell by the original picture here, it's only got like little bits of yellow. So maybe we should only do it on the corners as well, and not across the middle. That could actually look really interesting too. I was thinking about going all the way across instead, but it would be like, if it was 4 blocks tall, it would have a yellow bit here, 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 and here, sort of thing. So let's do that. It's not quite yellow, it's more of gold. So we want to go just into the orange slightly. That's good. It's not like a bright yellow like that. That's a little bit like, I don't know, like sun yellow. We want it a little bit on the gold side of things, and we want to have the ability to darken it up, have a little bit of shading. So we're going to want it to be at least 2 blocks in height. We're going to come out this far, so we only do the corners. That's actually going to look really nice, I think. And then we get it a little bit darker. I think I'm going to go down into the orange a little bit more and do it more like this. I think it's a little bit too dark. It's a little bit too much of a change, isn't it? Well, like there. It's a little bit on the green side. It's really hard. Dark yellows are really hard colour to do, because dark yellow, in my opinion, goes just very green and very... like you've accidentally, if you're at school and you're trying to paint something in art class and you mix something with the yellow, or you've got something on the end of your brush, when you put it into the yellow, it always like wrecks the yellow colour. It never ever looks the same again, does it? So yeah, I think going slightly into the orange here has just kept it as a truer, darker shade of the yellow, instead of just dropping it down properly. I've got dogs barking. We want to have as many of these as we can fit in, but without them being too close together. Oh, and I don't want the light grey below it either. We don't want this pixel line at the very bottom. We want that one. I think 1 block between is probably going to be the best. I don't know how this is going to fit in. Oops, when we get to the yellow. I think that's pretty good. I think we can leave this space blank and white. There's a nice break between it. I think that'll work really well, you know. I think that's actually going to look really nice. It's one of the first buildings that actually hasn't looked that bad in Photoshop, which hopefully should mean it should look fantastic when we come into Minecraft. So, let's go and have a look. Replace packed ice. Alright, just loading up the texture pack. And smashing. Yeah, I really like that. That's got the perfect sort of gold touches to it that we want. It's not too much of the yellowy gold going on. It's just that sort of accenting corner parts. I really, really like that. And it's at exactly the right height, really. In the real Minecraft city, it's literally about like 3 or 4 blocks taller than that one, which really does make no difference when it comes to this mini city. But yeah, it's perfectly located. There is a little park here that we've done as well. That's easy enough for us to do. We could just do a piece of string over the top of a sapling, and that would work great. Can we use a different sapling? A birch sapling? I haven't used a birch sapling anywhere yet. Is that a birch sapling or an acacia? That's acacia sapling. That actually looks really nice as well. I really like the oak saplings, and I really like the spruce saplings. I haven't been a fan of... Oh yeah, that's the birch one. The birch one looks okay, but I'm not a fan of the dark oak or the jungle texture. I'm not a fan of either of those saplings. For some reason, I don't really know why, because the dark oak isn't that much different to the normal oak look. It just looks a little squished. It looks more of a willow tree, doesn't it? It looks a wet, you know, because it's dark brown, so it looks like a wet wood. And then because the leaves are sort of, they end lower down, it looks like it's sort of, the leaves are sort of hanging over the edge, and I'm not really too much of a fan of that. The jungle sapling as well is too much of a green trunk. It is a very good jungle sapling. It looks like a mini jungle tree, but we haven't exactly got a jungle city, have we? So I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to retexture the jungle sapling to look like a palm tree, or as close to a palm tree as we can. I mean, I'm sure that we can find a way. Doing these kind of textures are a lot harder than doing block textures, because they're a cross-section texture. You do the same texture and it mirrors it across like 2 axes. So you can't make whatever you do on this one happens on this one, and whatever you do on this one happens on that one, including the trunk as well, which is why, for example, this little branch coming off here also comes off here, but not on the other side, because on the left of each texture there's a branch. Makes it a little bit tricky. I don't want to leave a sapling down there for too long. In case it grows, it's going to look a little strange. So that looks great. We're getting quite the skylight looking in here. If we like step back, it looks a lot more complete the further back we go, doesn't it? I really like the road now that we've got the paintings on the side. I'm a lot more pleased about how that looks. It's still not perfect, but it's the best that we can do. And yes, I could put item frames in these little zones, I think. We could put item frames in there, and I could retexture this to look like that. And that would hide a little bit more. We would still have this above section and below section, and we would still have the border that goes around it, but it might just hide enough up that it would make me a little happier. I don't know. Some of you still aren't a fan of the bridge. I don't know what you can do to make the bridge any thinner. I like it. I like the bridge. We need a little bridge on this red one here, but I don't know how I was going to do that. I was thinking maybe red glass panes on either side could work, potentially. I don't know. We might have to move this river over a slight bit as well to get it in a little bit more realistic. Something like that, and water. To get it like that, so then I can... That's not grass. Like that. I can get rid of that one. Yeah, that's the one. And then get red stained glass to have as our red bridge that goes across. Now, it's not perfect, because as you can see, it does float above the water. And I don't want to put any blocks underneath it, because that will wreck the look of the bridge. If I grabbed something like... Well, I don't want cobblestone. If I, just for the moment, I'll just grab this block. Like, we could put those underneath there, or use red ones, but... I don't know, maybe if we textured it upright it would work. I don't know. I was thinking in the glass panes here we could make some of it invisible. And make like little arches in it. Definitely some potentialities in there, but for the moment, because I haven't worked it out fully and I'm not like 100% happy with it, I'm just going to remove them and ignore it for now. Maybe you guys have some sick ideas for that. All I want to do over here is grab some grass blocks and work out the rough size of the fake Alcatraz Island that we've got. Now the racetrack's here, and we did end up sort of shaving a little bit of the mountain off. It's not too far away from the island. It's actually a lot closer than you might think, perspective-wise. And we don't want this to go grossly tall. I want to keep it around 2 blocks tall maximum. So we want to have something. Let's get like a base down, and then we'll build just straight on top of this. I've got a little bit of room left as well before I hit the world border. But we do have the opportunity to just make the world border slightly bigger. In the middle here, we want it 2 blocks high where the prison is. And the prison, I was wondering, could I use this block here for the prison? It's a potential. It wouldn't look terribly bad. Like there and there. Carpet. We want this one. That does work actually very well for the prison, right? That goes above it. I think it's about the right size and scale as well. Now what we want is a little bit of space out the front here. There's a lot of buildings and stuff out here. It wouldn't be a terrible idea to retexture a slab to look like grass. Obviously it would be a pain because whatever we retexture, like if I retextured dark oak wood to look like grass, that would give us the grass sapling, the grass slab, but then we've got 2 full grass blocks, one being dark oak and one being grass. So do I then replace all of the grass with dark oak, or do I waste a block? The other option is to make the grass slab not look identical to the grass block, because then I could make the entire thing grass on all 4 sides, then it wouldn't matter. It's tricky, it's a tricky balance. So we have this out here. I want to have, see, a little grass slab path there would be great. Or maybe it should be a stone path. Maybe it should be something like this. Because it is roughly something like that. Enter. And then we've got the building out the front here, which I don't have textured yet. We then get a little bit of wood. I think we use jungle wood for the main pier, so we'll use it for this as well on the edge. And I think it was something around about 4 blocks in size, wasn't it? It was a straight one. There's a little building right here. There's a little building, or larger building, the reception building right here. And then we have things like, let's get a smoother one for the concrete out here. That is the, should be a little bit lower as well. We should do that in a slab. I'll use the same one then. Something like that. And that's going to be pretty close to what we can do. Do you know what I mean? Because there was that little tiny wall on the edge of the, I call it the play area, but it's not a school, it's a prison. The yard, sorry. There was a little wall that went along there, so that's pretty good. And then if we had this, maybe it should go right here instead. Oops. And then that goes there. And then we've got the sort of incline that goes up. I think that could work. Or we have it like that. Or like that. That's how I had it first, isn't it? No, I don't think that is how I think I like that the best. Yeah. Okay, so it needs some detail around there. Needs some trees. There's some buildings around here. There's a, what is it called? Tower, watchtowers around the side, lighthouse, that's it, there's a lighthouse that goes up there, but that's definitely around about the right size and scale in comparison to the prison itself. It looks pretty cool having the extra island there as well. For this one on this side, the little private island, it's a little bit of an odd shape in the full city, so it's going to look even odder in the mini city. It's about in line with this junction here. And again, it's not that far out. I'd say it's about there. It's a little. I think it's further away from the main island than the prison is. Might not be. We'll do it. We'll use these 3 blocks. 3 blocks is going to be the minimum size of what we really want, because the house is obviously going to go in the middle here, somewhere there. Obviously not that block, but that's where the house is going to be. And then there's trees behind it and a path in front of it. So 3 blocks is minimum. 4 blocks would sort of be the best. And we don't need to really go do any form of mountainizing. There might be a little bit of mountainizing at this backside, but that'll be about it. We do want sand for this though as well, because it does have a small beach section about that. There's also a tiny little, no, a tiny little swimming pool section with some farmland, isn't it? So I could do that by grabbing a hoe. Because there is some farmland sections with wheat growing in the real world. If I put wheat growing on this, it's going to look a little bit too tall, I think. So I'd rather have something like this. And I think that one was grass, but I want that one like that. And then we have that here. We have a little bit of dimension, or a little bit thicker on the back of where the trees are. We have a little bit of a wooded area there. That's about right. This is a little swimming pool in the middle. We might retexture lava to look like a darker version of water. So the texture would look exactly the same, as in, like, it'll look watery, but it'll be a darker blue that we'll use for swimming pools and, you know, internal water sources and not the ocean. I think that'll be able to then, you'll be able to tell. It'll have, like, the water animation. Yes, it will bubble and make lava sounds, but I don't think that's really too much of an issue. I could even delete the audio file if I wanted to stop the sound from happening. We also want a little island at the back here of where the lighthouse is. It would be about there. And then we have a little bridge that goes over. Slab. There's a little bridge that goes over here. Like that. With the water going underneath it. That's about right. That's as close as we're going to get to a bridge, isn't it, in all fairness? And then we have... I could put it down on the same level then. I think that's probably better. And then we have the little dock, which is... I'm going to do just like 3 blocks, or 4 blocks like this. Where there's a little boat in the water here that you can ride. And this is the little sailboat. I could do it one more block out to look a little bit more like a pier. But I think that then goes out of scale. Because it's almost as big as the pier. And it's definitely not as big as the pier, is it? So, yeah. I think that's about the right scale here. I think I can get away with... I don't think I can get away with doing slabs. Doing another block there. I think we'll just go saplings, oak, and birch. I think I can get away with those 2. There are some fir trees in there, but I'll grab fir trees anyway. But we've only got like 4. Well, I could come out here. Yeah, okay, we'll do it like that. Oak, fir, birch. It makes like a little miniature forest going on, doesn't it? And then there's another line back here of the same sort of thing. I'll have that one, that one, that one, that one. I want mostly oak trees. Like this. Quickly put string above them. It looks like the string does work. You guys said that the string will prevent the trees from growing. Always makes me a little nervous though. And then we'll have 2 on here. And then the lighthouse will go on this block somewhere whenever we do that. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's about what that island would be. Should there be another piece there? And maybe here? Yeah, I think something like that would be roughly right. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? We've got all 3 islands now that we've got in our main city done. And it's a big improvement. I'm really happy on how quickly this world is filling out. Obviously, it's going to be quick. It's only 1 block per building. But it is still fascinating to watch happen. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode. Bye!